Welcome to Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush.
And welcome back to the Buckle Up Podcast Universe with Brandon Rush and
Mama Rush.
And we're very excited to have you here today. We are in 73 countries around the world and 761 cities worldwide. So we're very excited about that. And we are on 6 continents right now. If you're interested in us, if you want to be part of the Buckle Up Podcast, we actually also are producing episodes now. If that's something that you're interested in, you are welcome to contact me, and I can tell you about how the service we offer for that as well. Right now, we're about to have Alicia back on here, who we had a few months ago, and we're excited to see any updates that she has going on. So I'm about to pull her up right now. And we've done 120 episodes. Almost forgot that part.
Okay.
All right, let's see here. I'm going to let her in right now as we speak. Should be showing up any second. Alicia,
Oh,
you look magnificent as always.
thank you. Let me fix this.
Okay, let me
Give me
pause it
one
real quick.
sec.
I don't know
Yeah.
I'll pause it.
You?
Oh, Mama Rush is doing great. Mama Rush is doing great.
Alicia, I want to make sure we're saying that right. It is pronounced Alicia, correct?
Yeah.
Okay,
It is.
I think we talked about this before. The fact that I know
There's Alicia,
yes,
and it's spelled a lot of different ways. Yeah.
absolutely. What has been going on since we last? First of all, thank you for coming back onto the show. I'm sorry it took us so long. I've been all over the pretty much world.
You've been all over. I know, all over. No,
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be back. I love this kind of stuff, and I love talking about the different aspects of what I do too, and being able to share that with different groups of people that I may not touch through my own social network too, which is
Absolutely.
awesome. Yeah,
Perfect.
but your life is fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's
You're in LA right now.
right now I am, but I'm almost positive I'm moving on the 10th. Moving back to the East Coast first, and then up to New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just business has gotten really slow. Acting business out here, and all my work is on the East Coast. I'm always working on the East Coast, so it kind of seems like
Gotcha.
it doesn't make much sense for me to be over here. If I'm literally flying over for work all the time, it doesn't really make much sense for me to be in LA anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but it's been good. What have you been up to?
So I'm still doing coaching
Okay.
and still doing styling, still working as a nurse.
Okay.
I traveled a lot over the summer. Since we last talked, I think I've been on like 6 trips or something. We went to, gosh, where all did we go? We did Nashville. A friend of mine is a DJ out there and performed
Okay.
with Sick Kick. That
Oh
was
wow.
fun. Yeah, so I got to meet him. That was cool.
Okay.
Where else did we go? We did Vegas. We did Newport, LA. I went to a conference in LA for the Lewis Howes convention, which is awesome.
Will you explain that a
So,
little bit too? You said the Lewis House convention?
so he does a summit of greatness. So his podcast is called The School of Greatness, and he interviews people from all different walks of life, and different career fields, different experts in their field, and it's just fascinating. You learn so much. But he does a summit of greatness every year. I'm not sure if he's doing it next year or not.
Okay.
But it's where they had this year they had Huberman on. Last year was Joe Dispenza,
Okay.
Esther Perel. So like if I had like gurus of my field,
Yeah.
they are my gurus, and I just love it. You learn so much, and it's a whole group of people. It's a couple thousand that go. It's a
Okay.
whole group of people that are all in the self-improvement space, better, healthier relationships, healthier bodies, mind, body, spirit, that kind of thing. And it's all these different people that are experts in their fields. So there's some inspirational stuff, and then there's a lot of meat and potatoes of it.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
really
fascinating.
like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And will you please re-say the name of your company one more time and kind of explain to everyone once again, because we have a whole new group of followers since last time.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
yeah, let's get into it with it. Yeah.
My company name is called Navigating Venus, and the concept came to me. Matt Gray wrote the book Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, basically explaining like how we are different entities. We operate differently, our brains work differently. Even like we can see the exact same thing and completely take away different things from that situation, just because different parts of our brain work. Like for instance, we can look at a series of events, right? And a man will, see it, internalize it, and then portray it in a certain way. Women are completely different because different parts of our brain will actually be stimulated.
Absolutely.
Our nervous systems work differently. Our hormones are different. So there's so many different things that are different between men and women.
Absolutely.
And you see all of these. I found like there was just kind of this niche of, there's a lot of men working with men, but men don't have a woman like homie, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I around a lot of men of all different backgrounds, and I just learned to navigate it in a little bit of a different way than most people do.
Yeah.
And so I was like, hey, like I'm your wingman, wing woman, I guess.
It works
either way.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of operate as a wing woman, but the work that I do is really on helping them navigate themselves so that way they can show up better as a future partner.
Absolutely.
Because most people are just like going from relationship to relationship, not actually having clarity about what am I supposed to be learning from this? What am I supposed to take away from this? And then how do I show up better and attract better?
Absolutely.
Because we always see everything on the outside, but any relationship that you have is a mirror to what's going on inside of you.
Absolutely.
So it's the internal work really that is so key. And, I added on the fashion portion so I could, market to people who are already in happy relationships and didn't utilize that service. And I was redoing the closets for my clients anyway. And so I started doing the clothing thing, and it's fun. That's just the fun part, but
Yeah.
What really gets me ticking is the internal work. We do everything. I do breath work, nervous system regulation with them. Which I've been trained in, and I do myself. It changed my life. So, yeah.
Well, I have to ask you a question, or two questions I have to ask you along those lines. One being, how do you navigate? Because obviously, I'm a very independent guy I like to say I'm a pretty independent guy, but when I'm going through dating stuff, or I'll ask my best female friends, but how do you get someone who's been through a breakup? Because a lot of times for guys, when you go through a breakup, it can be hard for you to trust again and I'm sure that's something probably even some of the people that you work with, your clients, have to deal with. How do you get them to get over getting back into the field after you have your heart broken? So I have several friends that even gone through divorces that are like, man, Brandon, I'm scared to get back into the dating game. How do you approach how to get them back into, it's okay to take that risk again?
Ooh, good question. Most of my clients actually come to me after a breakup. Yeah, like I would say probably 80 to 90% of them. And I think trust is a funny thing. When you trust yourself and your judgment, it makes it a lot easier. So where we go with that is, okay, so what is your interpretation of what happened? What went wrong? And what can we do? Because that's one example. So I get them to segregate out. There's one example of a relationship that didn't go the way you thought it was going to. So you don't trust, but you can't label that to all women. That was your choice to be with that person. So part of it is taking responsibility, saying, I chose to be with this person. Were there red flags that I ignored? And again, red flags are just red flags, right? It means that's something that you have to dig in a little further. It's not a no. It's not a stop sign. Some things might be stop signs that say no, do not pass go, do not collect $200, right? But the red flags are like, oh, I don't know if I like that. I need to dig in a little bit more. What does he or she mean by that?
Yeah.
And so were there red flags that you ignored? Were there patterns of behavior? Because one instance of, I'm never a fan of lying, but like one instance of a white lie. Okay, that's, you said that you were home at 6. It could have just been an oversight. It could have been like dig in a little bit more, right? Yeah. Now, if there's a pattern, if it happens 3 or more times, you identify a pattern. You have to understand the patterns of behavior that are not conducive to what the type of relationship that you want. So you get clear, okay, this is the type of relationship that I want. Okay, I want one that's healthy, where we have open communication. We handle conflict in a direct and concise way that is calm and respectful. And then we have a repair process afterwards. That is the type of relationship that I want. Okay, so is this person capable of being a partner inside of that relationship?
Absolutely.
And so we'll go through and say, okay, were there red flags? Because when you can take, and until you're ready to take responsibility, you're powerless to change your circumstance.
Yeah.
And then you'll make everyone else the problem. Well, and it's true,
Yeah,
right?
you're true. You know, you're preaching truth.
And so, and it is hard, especially if there's been, infidelity. That's a really, really, really hard thing for the ego.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, are you taking care of your body? Did you show up? Were you present for her?
Yeah.
And if you did all of these things, okay, then that really that's her issue, because another woman will not do that.
Mm-hmm.
And, like one woman's trash is another woman's treasure. It's the same type. It's true. And it just might be that they were not conducive as a romantic couple.
Yeah, true.
So there's a lot of different factors. And I think going through and really kind of dissecting it, and you ask questions. And then, so I'm kind of the one that helps direct that part so we can get to a healthier conclusion instead of all women are bad.
Yeah.
All women are trustworthy. You can't trust any of them, because that's just not the,
that's not the truth.
It's not the truth.
Yeah.
I hear a lot of women too now, especially in their 40s and 50s, being like, oh, men suck. I'm like, no, there's a lot of great men out there.
Yeah.
They may not be for you. Like, you have to be discerning.
Absolutely.
And that it's the discernment process. And once you trust yourself and your judgment, you don't really have to trust other people, because they show you who they are. You just have to know to discern, is this person right for me? It's not about changing someone else. It's about saying, is this person right for me? And being open in communication about, and that's one thing that I realized that throughout working with all of the different clients' personalities, is it's a common thread where men have been trained not to actually communicate, because a lot of women don't know how to receive it, right? So it's communicating, hey, this is, and so they'll test women and then get pissed off when a woman is completely unaware. But this happens on both sides, right?
Absolutely.
But instead of testing, actually saying, hey, this is my expectation. This would really make me happy. Is this something that we can agree to? So when when I show up inside of a relationship, when I tell my partner, I'm very clear. Like, if you say you're going to do something and you can't do it, just tell me, but you need to communicate it to me. You can't just back away. Or if you tell me you're going to do something, I expect you to do it. And so there's an accountability when you have a partner, and a lot of people don't want to have accountability either. And so it's like, okay, you got to get real with yourself.
Absolutely.
And I'm not the soft one that's going to coddle you, because I care more about your well-being than I do your feelings. I'm not going to coddle your feelings. Your feelings are important. They're important indicators to what's going on. But I want you to get better. And the only way to get better is to take a really good inventory of what's going on. And then, okay, where is it that I need to heal? Where do I need to work through things?
Absolutely. Man, that was a phenomenal answer. Several things you said that my mom's always told me, even my dad told me too, but you said the power of discernment, being able to discern what is what within that. And then even my mom's big on not lying. My mom's always been huge on don't tell a lie, even if it's a white lie. And she's absolutely right on that, because sometimes because once you tell a lie once, the trust can be gone. And it's important to have that trust factor, even in a relationship setting. There's been times where I haven't wanted to tell, if I was asked not too long ago, but a girl I was thinking about dating was like, hey, have you ever done X, Y, or Z? And I was actually completely honest with her. And I think she appreciated that, because she was completely honest with me. And I was like, you know what? Let me start this on here's the truth. This is who I am. This is what I've done. I'd rather me tell you the truth now and be honest than to make up a lie. So it ended up working out better. Because that way you're on the common ground. But it can be tough for the ego hearing some things sometimes, but I'd rather it be out there and know that, hey, either take me as I am or leave. I'm not this person anymore. For a lot of us, it could be, hey, who we were in our 20s is different than who we are in our 30s or whatever it is. So
you should be
the same. Yeah.
You should be different. You
Absolutely.
shouldn't want to stay the same. And that's really just a fallacy. So we say this is who I am, but who is that? Because most of the descriptions that we use are ego driven. They're not soul driven. And where the differentiation is, okay, I'm a teacher. That's what you do for a vocation. I will never ask that question. I never ask, what do you do? I hate it. with a passion. With a passion. Every time I hear it, it's like nails on a chalkboard, because all you're doing is saying, what are you worth?
Yeah.
Like,
and that doesn't define your worth either.
No.
But, so some people, some people are, I feel like, then this is just me saying this, some people are shallow to where that's all they look at. It's a financial thing instead of a emotional thing, I guess.
Or they don't know what to ask. And most people aren't passionate about their lives. And so if you aren't passionate about your life, then you're not going to want to ask someone else, what is your passion project right now? What's something that you're working on that like lights your soul on fire? What is something that you've learned recently that like really changed your perspective on something? You know, something like that. And I go to a lot of different social events, networking, galas, like those kinds of things where that you're meeting a lot of different people. And every time I hear that question, I'm like, oh. It's the most boring question to me. And so I go around and people will look at me like, holy crap, where did you come from?
Yeah.
And I stand out just because I'm asking them a question that actually freaking matters.
Yeah.
Because most people, that's the only thing that they want is to be seen and recognized. And so you're going into a social setting. Most people are so worried about themselves. How do I look? You know, is my hair right? Or my blah, blah, blah. And I'm asking like, okay, I want to know about your soul. Tell me about like where you're at in life.
Absolutely. No, I think that's one of the things I love that about you. Even since Mom and I have done the podcast, even when I've always cared about people's stories, that's always been my thing, and getting to know people. I meet people all over the world. I'm pretty sure my mom has too. And the one thing I do now, even more so than I did before, was I get deep into people. I was at a amazing dinner the other night, and that was invited to with a friend, and I got in so deep with these people that I was talking. They're going to come on the show, but I'm like, I really care about your story. It entertained. Like, I'm not just, hey, you say something and then let me talk. I'm actually curious about that, because people do want to have their stories told, believe it or not, or for people to get deeper in them, not just on the surface level. So I'm glad that even though you might have a podcast in the near future, I know you go on a bunch, but as you should have one, it's you getting deeper into people is so much more meaningful and that's why you'll always be remembered or always be invited places, or people like having me around because, hey, she's a real person in the world of, there can be fakeness, pretentiousness, I guess.
Well, I think that we're oftentimes wearing a mask, right? And it's the mask of, and it's programming, it's social programming, it's programming from your childhood and your familial atmosphere. Or they're chained to an idea of I'm a victim, or I am this way, or da 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 da. And so it's kind of unraveling that. Mm-hmm. That's why I do breath work so much, because if you can get your nervous system regulated in a very calm way, you're actually your brain waves change. You're actually able to see things in a much clearer way. Yeah. And so when you're talking about a hot button topic in the past, something like infidelity, where your heart rate naturally goes up, you naturally have a nervous system response, a sympathetic nervous system response, where you're going into fight or flight and you get tense. I can calm them down and get into a place of, okay, let's look at this, let's pull out, look at a bird's eye view. Yeah. What are all the different factors here? So that way it doesn't happen again.
Absolutely.
And it's, because there's always two people. There's always two people. And so, and really, I think that most of the time we're showing up and it's really not our authentic self. And I refuse to do that. I've never been that way. You can't put baby into a corner.
No, nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody. All right. Patrick Swayze, Dirty Dancing. I love that. I use that meme a lot.
But it's true. And so if you're not showing up, and what I mean by authentic, I'm not saying like be in everyone's face, like this is who I am, hear me roar, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
No, it's just I'm relaxed in my energy, but I'm going to invite you into my world. And I want to know like what, I don't care about the surface part. Let me know the deeper part. And you can do that through very easy questions. And so I really try to use questions in conflict. I use questions and like to actually get to the truth of what it is that the conflict is actually about versus the surface level stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, it's most people show up in it, wearing their armor, wearing their mask, and I want them to feel comfortable enough to take that off around me. And I don't know what it is. People will just tell me their entire life story. There's something about my energy that that
You're
says, hey,
personable.
you're safe here,
Yeah.
I have no idea why I'm telling you this.
I
So
think it's you being personable. It's you being personable and being real. I think one of the things that me and Mom do really well. Well, at least I appreciate what guests have said. A lot of guests have been nervous to come on. I appreciate you not being nervous to come on. But the minute they and then some of them come with scripts. And sometimes you have a script, that's all right. I'm just saying, some of them come with scripts. I always tell them like,
blank notepad
oh
in
yeah,
case I
good,
need to
good,
remember
good, good.
something.
We make people feel at home. Like I
Yep.
want people to feel like, and I do that in life too, because I'm just a real person 24/7. I'm who I am 24/7. I'm like, take it or leave it. But we like people to be their authentic selves, and I think that it's excuse me. You're charismatic and you have that about you. When and you're comfortable in yourself, the fact that comes out of you. Sometimes when you are a person who's an empath or charismatic, that kind of people are drawn to you automatically. You can't quite put the thing on it, but it's the fact that they know that they're getting something real with you. And that's something they can't necessarily find with everyone else or feel comfortable around you, which is a good thing.
Well,
I agree with that.
Well, what I think, Brandon, it's being confident. I think confidence brings out the real person. The thing that concerns me most, Alicia, is when I'm talking with someone, I meet someone for the first time, and they're looking all around the room. Now, you're talking to that person directly, you have their attention, but they're trying to talk with you and see who's around, and that irritates me more than anything else, because I said, I'm giving you my precious time. I want you to give me your precious time. And so, how do you feel when you're talking with a person, you're engaging with someone, and then you see them looking all behind to see who all came to the party, who all is in that room, and that kind of? How do you feel about that type of reaction or interaction?
Ooh, I love Mama's questions. So I think there are a couple different ways to look at it. One is you don't know if I'm in so for instance, I was hosting a birthday party on Saturday, and I had to pop around and say hi to everyone, and I mean there was 50, 60 people there. So my attention was so scattered. When I'm with someone and I'm actually in a conversation, I do try to be very present. But if you're getting pulled, like people would come up to me and come like, and so that's a little bit of a juggle sometimes. They also might be overstimulated. And so they may not know how to act. There also might be a nervousness. And the reason why people like confidence is because it instills trust. If I am confident in who I am, I'm telling you, I'm communicating to you, you can trust me. I am a trustworthy person because I'm clear in what I say. It's obvious that I mean what I say, that I'm not, because we can, whether we're conscious of it or not, we can read people's, body language. And so it's like, oh, I don't like how I feel around that person, or that person makes me feel a certain way. You're not usually not even aware of it unless you're hypersensitive like me, where I'm like, oh, that person did this. I don't like that.
Yeah.
It's like my brain goes on fire when I see some mannerisms, and it's not on fire in like necessarily always a bad way. It's like, oh, okay, that's what that person actually means, or I don't know if I agree with that. I think there's different ways to look at it. I personally don't. I'm like, okay, I will just usually end the conversation if they're not being present. It also depends on like the environment. I try to remember to have a little bit of grace with people too. I don't necessarily like it, but you can usually tell if someone is looking around because they're nervous, or if they are like looking to see, is there someone better to talk to? You can feel that.
Oh yeah.
And if they're looking for someone better to talk to, I will graciously bow out. I'm good.
Yeah. Alicia, how did you know that this was one of your callings? I guess
I've been this way for years.
Okay.
I was I can remember even as a teenager, I would get in these really in-depth conversations. I just can't do superficial. I don't do the small talk, which is why I ask deeper questions.
Yeah.
And you don't like, and Vanessa Van Edwards is like, I just love her. She is one of my favorite people to watch. She's a instructor at Harvard or Stanford. I think it's Harvard. But she is one of the best experts on body language, body mechanics, verbal intonation, vocal intonation, all of that, and understanding how we actually communicate. And she says, you don't like small talk because it's boring. That's why I don't ask the what do you do question.
Okay.
And so I've always had, there's something about it. I feel like you're gifted with certain things that just come out of you innately. Mm-hmm. Where even as teenagers, like I would talk with adults and we would be talking about all kinds of different things and they would just start telling me everything.
Absolutely.
Whether I wanted them to or not. I mean, and these deep, dark secrets. And and there's something about me that makes people feel calm or at ease. And, you know, I was sitting on a plane. I remember I was in my early 20s. I was sitting on a plane next to this gal, and she had 2 of her kids with her. One was a baby, and she had just dropped her brother off at rehab. Oh, wow. And I could feel her energy was just very heavy. I'm very sensitive to energy, and I could feel her energy was very heavy. And she was like trying to juggle. And I said, hey, do you want me to hold the baby? Like, are you okay?
Yeah.
And she goes, oh my gosh, just for a second, if you don't mind, that would be amazing. Wow. And so for whatever reason, she trusted me with her, you know, 9-month-old or something.
Yeah.
And I said, are you okay? And she just busted out, started crying. Wow. And she just started telling me all about her brother and how difficult it is and the entire, you know, and it just, she needed that. And we were there isolated, and what else am I going to do with my time? But I was able to bless her during that time and give her some comfort. And so it's just been kind of a natural thing. But there was one, I've always been like the home girl. I've always had a lot of like good guy friends throughout the years. And the way I've done it is I keep, you know, things crystal clear. Like this is where these are the boundaries. You do not cross them or you're gone.
Yeah.
But, and I was super sporty. So, you know, when you
tomboy kind of, or not really?
Oh, totally. I was a total tomboy. Now I love being feminine, but I was a total tomboy.
Yeah.
And so there was one day though, where my phone was it just happened to be that my phone was blowing up with like 4 of my different guy friends, either sending me text threads, like, I don't understand what she means. What do I do? Or calling me like, we broke up again, blah, 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 blah. And so I'm helping them. I go, I should be getting paid for this. Like,
yeah, you should. Yeah. Why not?
And I said, obviously, like I have a knack for it, and then they always call me, you were right. And I'm like, well, so listen to me earlier on next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I had another question for you, Mom, unless you have one coming up.
No, well, I want to ask her about, you are a nurse. Is that correct? A nurse as well?
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I was trying to remember everything about you. And then now you navigating Venus, and then you also style men. Is that right? Style clothing. You do.
Yeah, I design custom menswear. So
yeah. So with those 3 different things going on, or maybe 4 or 5 things, how do you navigate that world and connect that for you? How do you connect all of that for you and for them?
Well, I do nursing, they're long days. So I do 3, 12-hour shifts, and on my days off, I do all my other stuff. But you're constantly learning. Surprisingly, the coaching aspect and nursing aspect are similar in the sense that you both require therapeutic communication. Both require you to understand the human body. And be able to interact with people under high stress circumstances. The coaching part isn't a high stress circumstance for me, but it is for my client. It can be, sometimes it is. And really those 2 kind of dovetail in an interesting way. The nursing is what I do. Like, that's just kind of like my main source of income, so to speak. And then the coaching is what I'm currently doing on the side. And I kind of have to juggle both. And then I also have a very active social life. So that's the social life and making sure I'm taking care of myself too. That's the fun part. I don't have kids. So I think that we underestimate how much work mothers have to put into raising children, and
Uh-huh.
how much that will take away from them doing any of their type of things that they want to pursue.
Uh-huh.
Where, I don't have that. I wasn't blessed with kids in this lifetime, so I get to do different things, and for me, the coaching part is really it has changed my life in ways
Uh-huh.
where I've had people shoot me a random text where it's, I'm so showing up so much differently now. I see things so much differently. I thank you so much for what you said. Like, sometimes it's one pivotal moment, sometimes it's the entirety of the work. But it's really that is so rewarding to me in a way that I really don't have words for.
Well, I really love that answer, because I can only imagine as a nurse and those skills that you've acquired, like being able to assess a person,
Mm-hmm.
listening to people, reading body language of people from your nursing skills. I can see how that really has brought out the best skills that you now carry over into your other areas.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear that, and that is absolutely fascinating for me to hear, because I've always thought nurses have this particular care for people, and so with that,
You have
you've
to.
learned to style people, style men, and pick out things for them just looking at them.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to share with the audience how that combination makes you pick maybe the right outfit for a man, and what you see that will bring out that confidence with both of those skills coming together now.
I'm a firm
This.
believer in you look good, you feel good.
Uh-huh.
And studies show that too, right? So
Uh-huh.
if it's amazing what having a well-fitted outfit will do for your confidence,
Uh-huh.
and your energy changes, how people perceive you changes. And I hear a lot of guys, I don't really care, da, da, da. And I'm like, okay, well, if you're not attracting what you want to attract, you
Uh-huh.
need to make some adjustments, because
Uh-huh.
you're attracting into your life where you're at, like where you're at emotionally, where you're at even physically. Like, if you're not into fitness, you're not going to attract someone who's into health and fitness. It
Uh-huh.
just is that way.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's a big part of my life. I practice yoga 3-4 days a week.
Uh-huh.
So, and I lift weights. There's literally no way I could be with someone who that wasn't at least somewhat of a priority,
Uh-huh.
because you're unequally yoked. But the fashion part, it sounds like it's random, but it's really not. Originally, when I first started going to school, I started going into fashion merchandising.
Oh, okay.
I can't draw, and back then they didn't have the type of setup to where we could, we barely even had computers. Which is, I mean,
That's
there were computers, but it was not
not
in
the
this,
same.
I tell.
nowhere near the same technology. So
Uh-huh.
what I do as a stylist now didn't even exist. It wasn't even like thought of back then. And so I can't draw. I am like lucky if I get a stick figure right. So, but I've always been into fashion. I just think it's so much fun. If you look at
Uh-huh.
how I dress, and
Uh-huh.
I, I my look is always on point. I cater
Yeah.
everything to be, to look a certain way. If I,
Uh-huh.
and I kind of understand the rules of how things should be proportioned on your body. It's always been just a passion of mine. I just think it's
Uh-huh.
fun, and you get to wear different personas,
Uh-huh.
and see how people respond to it. So that it sounds like it's random, but I was having to redo a lot of these guys' closets, especially if through our work they started, taking better care of themselves. They would lose a little bit of weight. They're like, none of my clothes fit me now.
Uh-huh.
And so I said, okay, let's get a couple key pieces designed for you. And like I said, I do it custom. So I take all their measurements, and then we create, a palette, so to speak, of like a
Uh-huh.
couple basics that we can all combine, and then they can mix and match. Or sometimes I'll just be doing a suit for them, or how, whatever it is that their needs are, because it's totally, you go piece by piece, and they get to choose whatever they want about it. But I mean, it's amazing. You get to literally choose down to your thread. So men that are very specific on what they want in a suit, they get to have that. If they just want something that's basic, we can do that too, but it's going to fit you well. And it's going to be proportioned to your body correctly. And you showing up, and when you know that you're confident and you look good, it completely changes how you approach the world, really. Like, you have a different level of confidence. And again, we were talking about confidence. That's how that really changes your point of attraction.
Oh, wow.
Question, Alicia, what are some essential, I'm just asking for myself in general. What should every man have in their closet, I guess? Does that make sense? Like, what should, if it comes to going out to either going out normally or going out to an event, what would you say every man should have if you're able to do that?
Yeah, you need to have a good pair of jeans that fit you well, not sagging off your butt. You need to have a good suit, at least one, and it needs to fit you well. I generally will recommend either a navy or a gray, because you can interchange those both with black or brown palettes.
Ooh.
And then you need a collared, like probably 2 or 3 collared shirts, and ones that I typically will do ones that will go either with a suit or with a pair of jeans, or with a pair of what a lot of people call khaki pants. We call them chinos. You need a good pair of chinos. And I generally say do something in a lighter color, like a gray, not, you can do black, but you don't want something in the blue palette. You want to do something that's either like a neutral. And so that way you can interchange. And you need a couple good pairs of shoes, like a good pair of tennis shoes, not like the running shoes that the whole men doing jeans. This drives me nuts. Men doing jeans with gym shoes. Don't do it.
Guilty. I am guilty.
Don't do it.
I am guilty.
Get a better pair of tennis shoes that actually look like they go with the jeans. It drives me. All I can think of is like, all you're missing is the dad bod. Don't do that.
Well, how about suits with men? How about suits with tennis shoes? I've started to see more men doing that type of thing. They'll have tennis shoes on and a suit.
That's different.
I've seen them walk on night shows. I've seen them walk on night shows. I love watching the late night shows, and they'll be dressed in a suit, and then they'll have some, I guess, probably $1,000 pair of tennis shoes they've paid for.
Oh, that
kind of look. Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think about that look?
If it fits their style. So I think it depends on if it's an NBA player and they have a very specific style, and that's what they're going for, and they're kind of interchanging them, and it's a little edgy. Fine, that's your personal style. I think you have to find what works for you. Everyone's different. I like Golden Goose shoes, which is, they're designed to look very rustic, and it almost looks like they're dirty, but they're anywhere from $500 to $700 shoes. But and I really like the look of them. So some people don't want, they're like, why would you wear shoes that are purposefully designed to look dirty? But I like them.
Okay.
You have to find your own personal style with what works. But if you are, it's still, I think the biggest thing is choosing fabrics that work with your body and choosing a fit that works with your body, because you can get away with other edgier pieces if you are wearing well-fitted, high-quality clothes. Okay. And if you're wearing, the one thing that I can't stand is cheap fabrics. If something looks like it's very cheap, it automatically makes you look cheap, and you don't want to be perceived as that, no matter what. And it doesn't mean it has to be expensive, but it does mean it has to look. I always say you don't have to necessarily be expensive to look expensive.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
All right.
I really like going back to the jeans thing. I really like wearing. I don't have an example of it, but don't worry about my closet. Tan boots, tan boots, but there's a specific name for them I can't think of right now. But it's like a dress tan boot. I'm big on that in my looks these days. But I
actually like that. That I dig.
Okay, good. All right, I'm not that. I'm learning. I'm not that big on fashion, but my mom's always keeping me on check because of work.
Brad, you do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
You do a great job dressing. You really do. You carry yourself in the outfits that you wear. I've seen you change over the years, and I love your look.
Oh,
not just
well, thank
because you're my
you.
son, but I love your look. I love how you pick your clothes and how you put the combinations together. But one thing I wanted to ask Alicia, what did you have to learn the hard way about charging for your styling services? Because I know you have to charge for those services.
Mm-hmm.
So what have you learned the hard way about that?
Measure twice, cut once.
Yeah,
It's true.
Yes, that is true.
Making sure
absolutely.
that the measurements and you don't be afraid to ask for help.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that measure twice. I know that because I love to build things, and I love, I'd love to put up wallpaper if I can, and that kind of thing. And it's
Really? Oh my gosh, you should
yeah,
come over to my
but
house anytime.
yeah, but I haven't put up wallpaper in a long time. But my daddy taught us certain ways. In my family, I have sisters and one brother, so he has a saw machine as we have sewing machines. I have a toolkit. We have toolkits
Hmm.
as young ladies, and
So
he
did I,
has a
yeah.
toolkit. So he taught us to interchange our abilities to be able to work in any situations within a house, do a little bit of electrical work, or do a little bit of things like that. And I appreciate that about what my father taught us, taught the kids. But in that, if you could design a confidence clinic for men that combine health and style, what would it be?
I
Or what
think
would it be in, rather? Well, what would
like
be in
like
it?
a
Yeah,
clinic,
yeah,
like a physical clinic that they come to.
yeah. If
Yeah.
you could design a confidence clinic for men that combine a health and style, and what would be in it probably?
I think that one of the greatest forms of self-love is discipline.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm super attracted to discipline in with men in general, just as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very drawn towards people that are disciplined in their life. Um, Generally, when you don't have that, there's a sort of chaotic energy, and there's not a sense of being grounded. So I would start off, and Tony Robbins always says this, right? Where if you have to change your state. So the best way to do that is to start physically. So you start working out, you start to get endorphins, you start actually putting love and care and attention into yourself physically. It comes out mentally. So I generally start there. I really advocate for all of my clients. Are you doing something physical? Are you getting your heart rate up? Are you lifting something that is hard? And it also, when you do things on a regular basis that are hard to do, that are challenging,
Mm-hmm.
it rewires you to your brain will automatically start to think, oh, I can do this, it's not that hard, oh, I can do this. And so other things that might seem daunting before may not feel as daunting now, because you've already trained your brain and your body to know that you can do hard things. That's why I love about weightlifting.
Yeah.
And yoga too. Like the yoga I do is not easy stuff.
Mm.
And when you push through that, you allow it to be hard. You're training your nervous system to be like, okay, I can breathe through this. I can withstand the hard. And so we get less uncomfortable with uncomfortable situations.
Oh, okay.
And so there's a resilience factor that occurs there. So I would probably start like, hey, let's work on this piece, and then combine, I like I said, I teach my clients breath work, and I do a lot of breath work with them. And then, actually going through and do understanding more so of who they are, like, okay, what is your attachment style? How do you show up inside of a relationship? What are the patterns of past relationships? Being able to identify those things, because really those are just a mirror into you. And then really understanding, how do I want to show up as a man inside of a relationship? And then what is a partner, potential partner? How does that look? And then getting clear on those things, and then going from there. And then, as that, I think the clothing piece kind of comes a little bit after that, but that's kind of like the icing on icing on the cake. The most of the work goes into the building the cake, and then the clothing is the icing. But the icing is the pretty part, right? It's the part that we're attracted to.
I also want to say this real quick because I heard you say, was your birthday like the other day?
No, it wasn't mine. That was a friend of mine.
Making sure.
Yeah.
Well, happy birthday to your friend in case. But I do. So I was just making sure. And I look at your photos all the like. I look at you. Everything you post, you look phenomenal. Like you slay.
You.
So you actually, I can, as a person who's looking from the outside, I can actually say you. What you speak, what you preach, you actually do. You speak what you preach. I think is that well, you actually do what it is that you say you're going to do. Another question for you, actually. Where do you see yourself in 5 years, or what does your dream life look like?
5 years, I would like to have a book done.
Ooh.
Oh, I would like to have a book done. And I think that's been the piece. I think I just need to, because I write a lot and I write in small bits. Being able to compile everything that I've written into a book, I think where I've been hesitant is if I'm, like I said, I like real talk. So where I've been hesitant is I don't know which direction really to focus my attention, because it needs to be a linear, subject material. And I am constantly like writing down, oh, I like this thought. Oh, I like this thought. I like how this person said this. Like, okay, what else? And then I'll elaborate on it. So I'm constantly doing that. And I have notepad after notepad after notepad of stuff that I've written. And it's, even if you go to like my Instagram, a lot of my captions are my writing, and I don't use AI for any of that. It's me. So. Well,
you do an amazing job. And then that also brings me to a quote that you said that I absolutely love. And hopefully I don't butcher it. I believe you said a candle never loses its light. A candle. We actually say the quote for me. A candle never. A candle never loses its light. I'll have you say it. I keep butchering it.
A lit candle loses nothing by lighting another.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, and I've thought about that since you're one of our first guests on the show. I have thought about that constantly, and even some of the guests that have come on who have been so giving of their time, just like you've been giving of your time today. I think that's so special, people who do that in lifetime, because sometimes people can be like closed off and not want to help or be supportive of your business. And one of my Marine friends that came on, he was saying how sometimes people go through this life not realizing for you to leave this, his own mission is if he goes through this life not having made someone else's life better or helped out, then that's doing a disservice. And so I thought about, his name's Major Dave Bauman. And so you two related so much on that when you said that. And I agree with that too. So I thought that was something beautiful, beautiful quote that you said last time you were here. And then where did you originally get that from? Or was it just...
I don't even remember at this point. I mean, that could have been a grandmaism, but because most of my like deeper quotes, I would say, are probably from my grandma or my grandpa, my dad too.
Okay.
But they've really imprinted, she taught me, I grew up with this idea. It is your obligation to society to be both interested and interesting, right? So you have to be educated enough and be willing enough to share, what interests you, what are your expertise, how can you benefit them, but also be interested in them, because it's a two-way street. Like you have a birth date and you have a death date. Both of those are guaranteed, but the dash is what your legacy is. So, and you can't leave a legacy if you're not impacting other people. And I've gotten asked, like, why would you do this particular coaching thing? And I said, you know what? Because it's out of the norm. I'm kind of in a little bit of a different sector where, like, and people said, who are you to tell people what to do? I said, well, I don't tell people what to do. I help them navigate different things, and they come to their own conclusion. Sometimes I do give advice, but a lot of it is helping them. I'm a facilitator. I'm a teacher, but it's positively impacted people. And so if, people will judge you all day long, they're going to judge you either way, but at least I'm making a difference in someone's life.
Amen.
And really, that's what that dash is for.
Okay.
That is so
love
great.
that. Well,
before we do this, I want to ask her this final question on my part. Well, a couple of questions. First off, for these young cats out here, women and men, what's the pickup line that really gets on your nerves that you have heard than men do that want you would tell them to stop it right now? They have these pickup lines.
I don't have one specifically because I generally don't hear them, but I don't have TV, so I don't watch any shows or
Yeah,
anything. So a lot
yeah.
of the newer stuff I don't really know about, but
Mm-hmm.
anything that over sexualizes a woman.
Okay, that's a good. You heard that, well, Brandon. You don't have to worry about that because you don't do that. But sometimes you hear old ways. These old guys who've been around for years still doing the same old tired thing. And
yeah,
said,
just start a conversation like a normal
just
person.
start talking to a person. That's what I like. I love the way you say it. Just start talking to a person. And that
best thing is to ask a question. Hey, what drink are you drinking? That actually looks really good. Have you had it before? Or have you been to this restaurant before? I heard it's really good. This is my first time here. Like, it doesn't have to be weird. You don't have to make it into a big thing. And that's what I teach a lot of my guys is ask a question, and pay attention to. Most women will look at a man but most men are oblivious to it because they're so worried. Okay, who do I go talk to? Which one am I interested in? Blah, blah, blah. And versus just start a conversation.
And that's a great thing. And so what is one message you hope every man listening hears from you today? Besides that, listening, pay attention. That
I hope that they hear it, but I don't know that they'll like it. Men are initiators, women are the receivers and the reflectors.
Oh, okay.
Women are not typically initiators unless we can be. If we're in a more masculine role, we can do that. I'll initiate things all the time, but when you're actually looking to have a healthy relationship, a man has to be the initiator because a woman will always reflect back to you what's going on. And it's just how it is. It is not, that's not sexist. It is just how it is. We both are, it's the yin and yang, and you can't have this without both, right? And I think that we've really done men a disservice in how much we've emasculated them. And we need healthy men. We need healthy men, and our world doesn't function without them. It just doesn't. And so I really want to empower men to be able to be the initiators and be the protectors, be the providers, and be the leaders inside, not just their own household, but in the community as well. And you can't do that without a strong sense of self, without discipline, without actually truly knowing yourself. And so that's really the kind of the bread and butter of my work.
Oh, wow. Wow. I love that. Okay, Brandon, what's that thing you were getting ready to
All righty. Alicia, first off, you have been absolutely phenomenal today. We have a new thing we do called a lightning round. So I'm going to hit you with just some quick off questions, and then
this is fun. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
So lightning round. Here we go. Scrubs or suits?
My answer is always depends.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm gonna go with suits probably.
Okay. Day shift or night shift?
Day.
Okay, absolutely. Clinic or couture showroom?
Oh, showroom all day long.
Yeah. All right. Stethoscope or measuring tape?
Stethoscope probably.
Okay. Favorite thing to fix, posture or pants length?
Posture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably need to work on that one a little bit. So
that communicates so much. If you're like this, you're open, you're like this. I'm nervous right now.
Yeah. Okay. Men look best in navy, black, gray, or what color specifically?
Depends on their coloring. Like I said, navy gray, I typically go for because you can put a lot of stuff with it.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna interject one thing. I love wearing pink because I like standing out and I'm comfortable in who I am. I'm just gonna say that in general.
You've always loved pink.
I love a man in pink.
Okay,
pink
yeah,
I love Brandon.
Pink and black is a beautiful combo.
Yeah, he's always loved pink.
Yes,
pink pants and everything from a child. He loved pink, and he looks
I'm
good
the opposite.
in pink.
Well, you're the opposite of what you like. Yeah.
I have never been a pink girl. I have
Oh,
never
really?
been into pastels that's my mama. My
Okay.
mom is like that. My mom loves pastels and I am not. I'm like, give me, I stuff that's weird, like burnt orange and mustard yellow and forest green or emerald green. I like stuff that's I'm not a normal. I don't fit in with anything of the standard
You're not meant to.
deviation.
You're not meant to.
Great.
No.
That makes you perfect. Okay. Dress shoes or clean sneakers with a blazer? Yeah, dress shoes or clean sneakers with a
Now,
blazer?
are we talking about men or women? Because I'm always going to say I
Do
love
both.
heels.
Oh,
Well, for me, I love stilettos. I'm a shoe freak. I love shoes.
with the blazer?
I would rock it.
Okay.
I'll totally wear a pantsuit and stilettos.
Oh, I love your answer. Most important detail: fit, fabric, or shoes?
Fit or fabric? I don't know.
Tough one.
Yeah, that one's a tough one because a lot of different fabrics you can manipulate now. So it can be a less expensive fabric depending on if it's made well, but I would say probably fit.
Okay. All right. I like it. If you had to give up one thing, would it be coffee on your shift or fabric for shopping?
I'm not giving up coffee.
Okay.
Under no circumstances is that happening.
Yeah.
I do the coffee, then I do the things.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, we need you at your best. Which lights you up more? Seeing a patient feel better or seeing a man light up in the mirror that you've helped?
You know,
those tough.
that is a tough one.
That is tough.
Both are the same energy where both are self-improvement. So I would say I can't answer between the two because really they're the same.
Yeah.
Being able to say, hey, I handle this totally differently now than I would have in the past. And it's so much better, or I went out and man, everybody was looking at me. You changed my life.
Yeah.
I've had one of my clothing clients who I've never done coaching with. He goes, you've changed my life. Like I had no idea what a difference it made because he used to wear very, very baggy clothes. And then I get him into some more fitted stuff. And he goes, literally, I walk in. He's like, ladies are on me like white on rice now. And he goes, where they never paid me any attention.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're doing a phenomenal job. I think you're right. Both of those are good. Wardrobe essential every man should own. I think I already said this, but great blazer, perfect jeans, or crisp white shirt between those three.
I'm a big fan of a good sport coat.
Okay. Blazer. All right, that sounds good. One word your patients would use for you to describe you.
Funny.
Okay. That's important. One word.
Funny and direct.
Okay.
And direct. I like to make people smile if I can. So I'll crack a joke. And I always say, if you're laughing at me or with me, I really don't care. Like at least you're smiling,
Amen. I love that. I'm big on that on my day-to-day too, by the way. One word that your styling clients would use for you.
And what's a word that says that I push them out of their comfort zone?
Actually, what would that word be?
I don't know.
What's that, Mom?
Well, I'm going to say she's unique. And so
I'm going to have to figure out that word.
Yeah, but I don't know the word, but you're unique in what you do and what you create.
Yeah.
As one of a kind person. So wherever that fits for you, that's how I see it. But you have to look at yourself and think about that question because
I would have to ask them.
Yeah, that's right. The client could say that, but you're different with each client. And that's what makes you so unique because you're different with each client.
You have to
adjust your way. You adjust yourself for each client you deal with. And
different needs.
That ability is a God-given talent. Most people don't have. Very few.
It's a little bit of a chameleon in that way. Right. I think that most of my coaching clients would say, she's not going, like, usually when they are talking about me or they write a review, it's generally, she's not going to coddle you, but she will help you.
Okay. I love that.
Two more questions and then I'm done. I promise. And I'm going to ask you, I appreciate your time. All right. If you could style any man in the world, who would it be?
Jordan Peterson probably, because he's like my brain crush. But he
Okay.
always does the elbow pads. He's always dressed on point.
Yeah.
But he has, and he's literally, him and Huberman. Like, I have several people that I follow and I call them my brain crushes.
Okay.
Oh,
Literally, where I'm just like, I just eat up anything that they produce because they're so insightful. And he always is dressed on point. And so if I would have the privilege of ever doing something for him, like, I would eat that up all day long.
Okay. Love it. And then
oh,
here's a
he's
final
listening.
question for you.
We'll
Oh yeah.
send it to him. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they hear that. I'll have to, hopefully the clips,
He's
whenever I do them,
he's an
it's it.
incredible human being. He's brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant.
We're gonna have to reach
Yeah.
out to him. What you said is Hubert something? One more time. What's his name?
Oh, Huberman.
George.
So Huber, he's a doctor, and when I saw him speak, this man, his brain is an encyclopedia. Like, you would, I mean, what is inside of there is, I think it should be studied. He's literally
Really?
like Einstein. He can just go and explain everything, and he makes extremely complex things in a way that you can actually receive the information, but he can go on and on and on about it. And he's fascinating. Yeah,
Okay.
Andrew Huberman is phenomenal.
Andrew
Yeah,
Huberman. I'm gonna look him up tonight actually. And then finish this sentence. What's this mean for you? Lighting another candle means
bringing out the best in someone else,
Oh,
letting them see that, letting them know that they're worthy of showing that it's valid, and being able to stand in that space and have the confidence to offer that to other people, because that has a ripple effect.
okay. Well, Alicia, you have been absolutely wonderful today. We have enjoyed every
Thank
second of
you.
having you back
Thank
on
you
here.
so much, you guys.
outstanding as usual.
Yeah.
Navigating Venus, you are outstanding. And you continue to light that candle because you have lit so many of our listeners today, people all over the world, in different countries, cities, and young people who are like, oh, listen to her, listen to what she had to say. I want to thank you. I want to
Oh,
thank you for
thank
being
you.
present for us
Absolutely.
and adding to what God has put for us to continue to see everyday people and see what they do to make a difference in this fabulous world that we are all a part of and continue to be positive in.
Life's
Okay.
a gift. Life's
It
a
is.
gift. Yeah, it
Absolutely.
really is.
And
Yeah.
then Alicia, our audience is way bigger now. We're in 73 countries and
That's so crazy. Oh my gosh,
61 cities around the world.
congratulations to you.
Hey, we're doing all right, but
That's so
And we
awesome.
did hit 13.6
6 million.
million.
Yeah, views.
Yeah,
I love it.
so it really has grown since we first started. And I think we've gotten better in knowing and questioning and asking and having fun rounds like we love the lightning round because it gives more insight on people. So thank you again. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
Absolutely.
thank you
So
guys.
what do we get
It's
ready
such
to
a pleasure.
what
Yeah,
do we
it's
get
always a
ready to
pleasure.
do
We
now,
get ready to do it. You
Brandon?
can't see mom, but I'm the one. We were both clapping.
Well, I'm in South Carolina, and so he's in California.
Yeah.
So I'm putting my picture up these
But
days
yeah, we're
right
both
now.
clapping
But
now.
let's get ready to clap. Brandon,
All
you
right.
ready?
Okay, Alicia.
Outstanding.
Alicia, you have a wonderful day. Have a great happy Thanksgiving as well. And then yeah, we'll have to have you back on again soon. I don't have to do a whole entire
You
day
as
with you. With like
well.
a daily
Yeah. Oh
call.
my
But
gosh, it's almost Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
yeah,
Yeah,
it'd
but
be
the
good.
next time, Brandon, I want to involve Alicia with some of the guests we've had.
Oh,
I
that'd be
think
good.
that
Oh, I
conversation you
love
mentioned
that.
before, like we have like three guys. Your buds, your
Yes,
guys
ma'am.
you hang out with, the three of them on here. The millionaire, what else? The one that is
If I
the
can get them
director
on,
of
we'll
farm.
see. It can be kind of hard. It's
You
kind of
hit them
twisted me.
all because
That would be
that group
fun. Do like a round
for
table.
you.
Yeah.
That's right. Put them across the screen and let Alicia deal with each one of them. Brandon, that would be fascinating.
Yeah.
I would do that. I
I
would
know you
love to
Would
do
would.
you
something
do
like
that?
that.
Yeah. If I
Brandon,
could get
this
them
is what
on,
we
it's
have to
gonna be a
do.
thing. So I gotta convince some people. I like we have
Put them on the hot
our group
seat.
dynamic is all crazy. So, but I will try my best.
Every group dynamic is, and everybody has their own kind of quirks or whatever, and there's always a really strong one, there's always a funny one, and
Yeah,
but every group dynamic is like that.
absolutely, absolutely. Well, look, beautiful. You have a wonderful day.
Thank
you so
you.
much
You
for
as
coming to bring
well.
your education, your spirit, your wisdom. We've loved it all. And
Thank
I'll get this
you.
back to you. And then text me the photo you want to use for this one too. So I make sure to put that up.
Okay, we'll do.
Because I haven't done in like probably just a couple hours.
Okay,
All
sounds
right.
good. I will. All right.
Take care.
Ciao.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
All right, I'll make sure she's wonderful as always. Alicia.